You've been tracking your cycles, timing everything perfectly for 12 long months, and every time that test comes back negative, a quiet panic starts to build. But as medical professionals often remind us, hitting the 1-year mark without a positive test does not mean your journey is over. In fact, for many couples, it simply means it's time to look at a few common, highly treatable variables. In the next few minutes, we are going to walk through exactly what's happening in your body, why your tracking app might be misleading you, and the clear next steps you can take to find answers without the anxiety.
We are often taught that getting pregnant is incredibly easy, but in reality, human reproduction is a delicate and surprisingly inefficient process. Studies suggest that a perfectly healthy couple in their 20s or early 30s only has about a 20 to 25% chance of conceiving in any given month. That means even if your timing is flawless, the odds are actually against conception happening in a single cycle. When doctors use the 1-year timeframe, they aren't giving you an expiration date or a diagnosis. They are simply using a clinical milestone. It takes an average of 12 months of consistent trying for biological probability to simply do its job. It is very common to need this entire 12-month window. It does not automatically mean something is wrong with you. Here's the part most people misunderstand. You might be having regular intercourse, but the actual window for conception is incredibly narrow. An egg only survives for 12 to 24 hours after ovulation. If the timing is off by just a single day, conception simply cannot happen that month. Many couples rely heavily on period tracking apps, but doctors point out that these apps only calculate mathematical averages. They don't actually know what your ovaries are doing. Minor illnesses, a poor night of sleep, or travel can subtly shift your actual ovulation day, completely throwing off the app's prediction. It is very common for couples to miss this 24-hour window without even realizing it. Missing the window is a data error, not a failure of your body. Before you assume the worst, there's one thing you need to know about the most frustrating advice you will ever hear. Just relax and it will happen. Medical professionals know how damaging this phrase is. It places the blame on your shoulders. While severe, chronic stress can occasionally impact hormone levels, everyday anxiety about trying to conceive does not cause infertility. You are not preventing a pregnancy simply because you are feeling anxious or stressed about getting pregnant. Studies show that couples going through medical fertility treatments have high levels of stress, yet they still successfully conceive. Your emotions are valid, and they are not to blame. This brings us to a major medical clarification. Many couples carry the heavy burden of believing that if they haven't conceived, it's solely a female issue, but that simply isn't what the science says. Medical data clearly shows that male factors like sperm count, motility, or shape play a role in nearly half of all delayed conception cases. It is a shared biological journey, and testing both partners simultaneously is the standard medical approach. If you're finding this clarification helpful today, consider subscribing. We are here to navigate this journey with you. Reaching the 1-year mark means it's time to transition from guessing at home to gathering medical data. Many parents delay this because they fear the unknown, but the first doctor's visit is actually very straightforward. Doctors look for common, highly researched variables. For women, this usually starts with a simple blood test to check hormone levels, ensuring your thyroid is balanced and confirming that ovulation is actually happening. They may also do a gentle, routine ultrasound to look at the uterus and ovaries. For men, a standard semen analysis provides immediate, clear answers. These initial tests are not scary, invasive procedures. They are simply starting points.
Identifying an imbalance, like a thyroid fluctuation, often leads to very simple, well-established treatments. It is important to know the medical guidelines for seeking help. If you are under 35, 1 year of trying is the standard recommendation. However, if you are 35 or older, doctors recommend reaching out after just 6 months of trying. You should also bypass the wait and consult a doctor sooner if you experience highly irregular periods, severe pelvic pain, or if you have a known history of reproductive issues. Seeking medical advice early isn't a sign of defeat, it is simply advocating for your own health. The emotional toll of the 2-week wait and the grief of a negative test are very real, but hitting this 1-year mark simply means it is time to pivot. You are moving from a place of uncertainty to a place of medical clarity. Your body is navigating complex biology, and gathering answers with a professional is the best next step. You are doing your best, and you are not alone in this wait. If today's video brought you a sense of calm, please leave a comment below or subscribe to our ParentUno family. We are in this together, every step of the way. And remember, once you do get that positive test, a whole new set of questions begins. In our next video, we'll calmly break down exactly what is the 4-1-1 rule in pregnancy and why it's a game changer for expecting parents to know when it's time to head to the hospital. See you there!